or wrapping up start. That sounds kind of weird, doesn't it?
It
But
sure does.
I'm Ronnie Loiza. I'm a master certified professional coach and a certified habit coach. And this is,
I'm Sarah Snyder, financial strategist.
and she does a lot in every aspect of finances, from insurance to you name it, investments. So today we're going to wrap it up and I'm going to give you some steps, and so is Sarah. And Sarah, you go ahead and start.
All right, fantastic. We have covered a lot in this series. And what we want to offer you today are some steps, some really concrete steps. And I'm going to offer you four steps to think about when it comes to your finances. Step number one, you've heard this already. Get clear on your starting point. Get clear on your destination. I'm going to come back and kind of add some extra points, but let's just go through all four first. Step number two, it's important to understand how money works, have a money framework that you can then use for making daily decisions around money. Step number three, this one is create a simple values aligned plan. And then step number four, you probably are guessing, is actually put your plan into action and then have some accountability to go along with it. Now, what about getting that clear point that you start from? Why is that important? You need to know. You really, really need to know because it gives you kind of a foundation. I sometimes call this the setting the foundation step so that you know where are you at and what does financial security look like for you? What does financial fulfillment look like for you? If you don't have something that's clear, you simply remain stuck in reaction mode. Back to step two, understanding how money works. We talked about the three different types of ways that money grows. Go to the previous episodes to look at that. There's a simple formula I want you to remember called the rule of 72, which helps you calculate the approximate number of years for your money to double for you or against you. So 72 divided by whatever interest rate, the approximate number of years for that money to double. This is important when you're thinking about your money growing for you or your debt compounding against you. And then think through the tax consequences of, are you taxed again and again? Are you simply going to be paying taxes on your harvest in retirement? Can you get taxes out of the way now and grow your money and not have to worry about taxes ever again? These types of principles allow you to think about your money and strategically assign it to be working for you. Then back to step number, and actually within three, like step three, creating a simple values aligned plan. Now, each of us will be in a different place, but generally speaking, there are there's an order to this madness. So we need to be thinking about how do we save more than we spend? That's really important. Save more than we spend. Pay off high interest debt first, because if that's eating away at our lives and our future, we really can't address some of our other financial goals. Build an emergency fund, preferably a 6 month worth emergency fund. What kind of protection do you have in place for yourself and your family in the event of the worst case? Like if I were to pass away yesterday, is my husband okay? Are my kids okay? Is it going to replace their income so that they can grieve and then rebuild and take care of themselves and not lose their current standard of living? If something happens to me where I get sick, and I can't continue, can I have something coming in to replace my income? So that proper protection kind of fits in maybe alongside the same thinking of our emergency fund time. Now start investing towards your future, towards your midterm goals, towards your retirement and saving. And then that's going to be building up towards having passive income coming in. So generally speaking, kind of that's a good order to be thinking about. Avoid overcomplicating things, right? You want clarity because clarity also brings confidence. Now we can think, what is that first step I need to take? And then take action and have somebody to keep you accountable along the way.
Well, it's interesting that you say accountability, but something came to mind is people often ask, and this is not everybody that's watching this, but there are people that are like, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. How can I possibly? Well, that's where the tips that came in another video, where you can make things work for you, little habits, daily habits in your life that can help you not be paycheck to paycheck or make the most of that paycheck to paycheck. And I know, Sarah, that you've had clients that have told you, I'm literally paying every single bill. I don't have more. and you
Yeah.
have found a way for them to find how they can have more, correct?
Absolutely. Like some of those habit tips we were talking about of double checking where your spending is going regularly. They found that they were spending at least 200 a month in this scenario I'm thinking of on in-app purchases that were not necessary,
Mm.
right?
Or
So we can ask
subscriptions
them.
or other things. Yeah.
Or subscriptions or other things. I now hear Ronnie's voice in my head on a number of these different habits. Like I already had the habit of let's look at the price per unit, but now when I'm doing that, I'm hearing Ronnie's voice as well as my own. So go back, listen to some of those habits, get Ronnie's voice in your head because that will help you to put some of these habits in place and then find money.
Yeah, and we can email you that, by the way, that list. I have a list of 10, and that's just to get the ball rolling. I've had people actually add to the list, like, oh, and I thought of this and I thought of that. And it's not about coupon clipping. Remember coupons? And it's not about digital coupons. It can be whatever you will do. You said accountability. Now, what do habits have to do with your finances? We've covered this in the other videos, but how do you build a habit? Let's say you have a habit every day, at least, I don't know, whatever you want to do, of checking your account or checking how much do I have to spend today, or what are my investments doing? Maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe it's one of those tip habits that you have. But how do you build that habit of check the price per unit? Or how do you build a habit of before you use that credit card? Do I know my balance today before I start spending? Digital wallet is so easy now. You literally zap your phone on that digital code thing, you know? So whatever habit that you decide that you need to create in order to keep you on track, because some things are systemized and automated. Remember, I said the definition of a habit is something you do consistently on a daily basis. And that's easy because your subconscious has all this stuff. A habit is a systemization in your brain. This happens, this happens, this happens. Boom, I do it naturally. A million little things go through your brain for you to do one little thing because it's systemized in your brain. It's a natural part of who you are. So you don't have to think about what should I do to make this happen. Your brain already has it. It's got you because it's a habit. So how you create a habit, it's a 4-pillar way. Any habit in eating, in fitness, in health, in self-care, in anything, productivity, time management, whatever action you're going to form into a habit, it all works exactly the same. So even for your financial habits, if you want to create one little tiny habit that will help you. Okay. The first one is an activator. Whether you realize it or not, there's always a thought that goes to your brain, whether it's in lightning speed, that activates it. We need external activators to create a new habit, and we already have the internal activator. The internal activator is where you want to get to you won't need an external activator. The external activators are, let's say you're driving down the road and you see a billboard. Oh my God, that hamburger looks so good on that billboard. That's an activator. All of a sudden you're looking at all these fast food places as you're driving. You're like, you know what? I'm going to turn in and get me a sourdough jack. That's what marketers and advertising uses. That's what we do to create a habit. And it's funny because most people think a vision board. Well, that's great. But what about if that vision board just sits there and you don't look at it anymore and clothes hang over it, or you don't really look at it? If you do, that's great. But what I'm saying is I help people look for an activator that will literally make them do that rather than become part of the scenario. I'm going to do a little trick. I don't even know if I have one. Yeah, we do. No, we don't. Okay, pretend this is a Post-it pad. I can still see Sarah is wearing a purple sweater, a purple shirt. I'm not sure what kind of earrings and a beaded necklace. And I see everything around her. I see everything around me. Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice this. After a while, all these Post-its hanging up all the way everywhere on the computer, on the walls. That's great if it works for you. But for a lot of people, it just becomes part of the scenario. It becomes wallpaper. It becomes decor on your computer screen. So often what I'm saying is we find what will really activate because it's new and it's there in your face. A lot of people use alarms. That's great if it really does work. But often people, I've got my phone here. They just turn off the alarm. They keep doing what they were doing. They don't go do what they set that alarm for. So if it works for you, great. But if it doesn't, so I, as a coach, help people find what will work for them. I'll just give you an easy one. I have a lady who hangs her keys on the door in her office with her earbuds, and she cannot walk out the door without putting her earbuds in, which means she's going to go work out. She also, and so instead of all the Post-its, but she has to, because she has to grab her car keys, right?
Right.
Um, Somebody else she got in a habit of phoning her husband at night saying, this is what time I will be home. The reason that was important to them is because he never really truly knew, and he wanted to start cooking for when she got home because she liked to work in an office outside the house because she can't work at home. So she set something, not an alarm, because she would turn off the alarms. She literally had a song go on that her and her husband liked. She sat on her computer. She loved that. She would call her husband. We find like we just spaghetti on the wall, start brainstorming what will activate you to do it other than a normal alarm clock or the calendar, because sometimes the notification gets ignored,
Yeah.
like the old fashioned snooze buttons. So you have to have an activator. Something will activate that habit, but find a real one. And then the second one is boost your ability to do it. Do you have the resources? Do you have the support? Have you talked to your partner? Have you talked to your kids? Have you talked to your colleagues? Do you, let's say, again, we always go to work out because that's so easy. Do you have the right tennis shoes? Do you have the right equipment? Do you have the right gear if you're going to work out at home? Or do you live near a gym? Do you know a gym nearby? Not that you have to drive 20 minutes. Do you have everything you need? Do you know how to do it? If it's something else in your finances at work, do you have the information? Do you have the knowledge? All of this stuff. Are you totally equipped? I don't know about you, Sarah, but we have this thing called REI here. It's a camping store.
Oh yeah, I've heard of it, but
Oh
I
my
don't
God,
know
they equip you
camping
for
to know.
everything down to powder in case you're like lost somewhere for 48 hours. I mean, they equip you. So, are you fully equipped with information and resources and support? Sometimes you have to talk to people and let them know what's going on. If you have to have that financial conversation with your partner and your family,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
Okay, so boost your ability to do it. So get rid of anything that will tempt you that's not good and equip yourself with what you need. Like the old Skittles, get rid of the Skittles and the Pop Tarts if that's your thing. Same thing with your finances. Get rid of that temptation if it's there. Don't take your credit cards with you. Don't load up every credit card you have in your digital wallet or put yourself a notification. Do I really need this? Whatever will work, you know?
Mm.
Um, then the third one I love, you said accountability. I found out as I became a coach that some people have a negative connotation on accountability. And I thought, well, I thought people wanted accountability coaches. If you really want one, yeah, they're psyched. But if you're not really looking for an accountability coach, it's like, oh my God, it's a nag, it's a nudge. They ghost you. No, they don't want to talk. It's like, I didn't do it. I didn't get, no, that's a mindset. So I changed it to, let's change accountability to what it really can be and should be when you create a habit. It's reward. We do everything, whether it's a bad habit or a good habit, you get something from it. That's why it's a habit. So even if it's something you don't like to do, if it's a habit, it's because it's a reward. So reward that little action that you're turning into a habit.
Good.
Turn it into a habit by rewarding yourself. We find out what will be a reward for you. And I don't mean a chocolate shake every day. What I mean is like maybe a happy dance every time you do that action, happy dance. Or maybe, well, with me, if they're coaching with me, we're on Voxer. Some people are like, really? And at first they just start with a green check emoji. And then it turns into like, done, or they voice it, did it. It starts becoming a happy thing. Celebrate yourself. It's celebrative accountability. Some people do a happy dance. Some people like, yay, or yay me, or they look at themselves in the mirror, in the eyeballs, done, did it, whatever it is. And I invite people that the more senses you get into it, let's say you write it down or you check off something as you're saying it done, that's you physically doing something somatic. You're saying it, so your voice goes into your brain and your brain goes noted, done, yay. Your
Mm.
brain hears it. The more that you fire into your brain, the more that wires. And then you don't need that anymore, but you're happy when you do that. And when it becomes a habit, it's just natural. It becomes part of your identity, those financial habits. Okay. And the last one is repetition. Repetition, 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 repetition all day long. Don't qualify it like, well, it wasn't enough, or it wasn't good enough, or I didn't do it well. Who cares? Or I didn't spend that much time. Who cares? Did you do it at the same time every day? I don't care if it's literally one thought of your finances. If you did it the same time every day, you're just thinking about it without doing anything about it. If that's a start, you know,
Mhm.
or a financial affirmation, it could be that, whatever it is, repetition, and make that repetition doable. In other words, plan that habit or that action. I will do it at 8 a.m. before I go to work, blah, blah, blah. I will check my accounts just to know, or whatever it is, right? Or every time I go shopping, I make sure I check the receipt. Or I count up, I calculate how much I'm going to spend as I'm going along mentally. Whatever you want to become a habit, right?
Mm.
You make that repetition doable. I count in my head, I add up as I'm going through. It may not be easy for you. If you have your kid with you, have him do it on a calculator or her on a calculator as you're going along. Make a game out of it. Whatever works, make it doable. Now, let's say it's a habit thing and you set a certain time to do it. If you can't do it then, I will do this at this time. And then we have the if then. Now, this counts for any habit in any aspect of your life. If all hell breaks loose, if I don't have time, if I get a business call and I can't do this, if my kid gets sick, if whatever, fill in the blank. I forgot is not one, by the way. If, because you had that activator. So if, fill in the blank, then what? What's your plan B? What is your plan B? With workouts, it's easy to show as an example. I will work out at 9 in the morning. If I have to attend a meeting or somebody gets sick, then I will work out at 4:30. You plan for the worst, for the
Yeah.
inevitable or the unforeseen, not inevitable, the unforeseen. Okay. So that's the 4-pillar way. You can read every book, Atomic Habit, Tiny Habit, Brian Fogg. They all say the exact same thing. I may change it like I changed accountability to celebration, celebrative accountability, because I like it and I celebrate it. Okay. So those are the 4 things. You need an activator. You need to boost your ability to do it. And you need to like what you're doing, what you're forming into a habit and what will help you. And you need to celebrate accountability and you need to make the repetition easy. There you go.
Mm. So good. And we've sent along for you a worksheet in terms of thinking through some of these financial principles that I've talked about, as well as seeing where you're at right now. And Ronnie, you have a gift that you're offering as well in terms of a PDF. Is that right?
Yeah, it's habit stacking.
Habit
I like
stack.
to call it habit chaining. So in the PDF, it's habit chaining. You link a thing to something you already do. The new habit, you link it to something you already do. So you don't want to add more to your thoughts, to your energy, to your day, to your busy schedule. Don't add it. You link it to something you already do. If
Yeah.
I'm making coffee, I'm waiting for my Keurig or Nespresso or whatever you have. If I'm waiting for coffee, that's a great time to check my phone and check my balance. Or it's a great time to do those push-ups or a great time because you're already making that coffee. Do it
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
You know,
My husband tried to get me to add a health habit to my business habit. He said, Sarah, you had a victory in business. Okay, celebrate with doing 10 push-ups. I'm like, celebrate with 10 push-ups? That is a good idea.
I like your husband even more now. Good.
Uh, yeah. Well, I think that's it for now, but there is so much more out there. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we hope this has been helpful for you in your journeys.
I want to ask you one question and we'll wrap it up right after your answer.
Yes.
When people are watching this, they're like, what did I get out of this? Or what's in it for me? So what was your mission in this, Sarah, that you wanted me to join you and do this? What is it that you want people to get from this?
My hope is that we will all be more intentional with our lives. There is a lot of fear in the news and the media related to finance, related to job stability, related to life in general. And so much of our health issues are often related to money, to finance. And I know that putting in place kind of the habits that bring success is important. So my hope is you've thought through, okay, I want to be intentional. I want to understand where am I at? Where am I going? And then how do things work so that I can prioritize and start taking action? My goal is that each and every one of you feels empowered to take that life transforming step for yourself and your family.
There you go. She said it all. Take action, and we can help you in that, in the how. All right. Email us, contact us. Let's talk.
Ciao.